లేదంటే కంటిన్యూ.
అట్లా పెట్టాలి.
ఫస్ట్ వెన్ రూల్ చూపిస్తా. ఫస్ట్ వెన్ రూల్ ఎలా తీసుకుంటారు?
ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ కి సెకండ్ స్టెప్ రివర్స్ అండి.
ఓకే, కంటిన్యూ వెన్స్,
అదర్వైజ్ స్కిప్ స్టెప్. ఓకే,
స్కిప్ స్టెప్.
ఇదే రివర్స్ లో కింద పెట్టాలి. కింద స్టెప్ కి ఇదైతే స్కిప్ స్టెప్, లేకపోతే కంటిన్యూ. అది అంతే.
ఓకే ఓకే
ఓకే, లాస్ట్ టాపిక్. వాట్ వాజ్ ద లాస్ట్ టాపిక్?
అదేనండి, షిప్పింగ్ బిల్లింగ్ అడ్రస్
డేటా ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మర్
యూజింగ్ డేటా ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్.
ఓకే ఫైన్. ఉంది నిదానం వస్తా. షో చంద్ర టాపిక్స్. ఓకే, ఈ బ్యాచ్ ప్యారల్గా ఏ బ్యాచ్ ఉందా? లేదు కానీ కొంచెం మార్నింగ్ 7 o'clock బ్యాచ్ కొంచెం మొన్న ఈ మధ్య స్టార్ట్ అయింది. కొన్ని రోజులు ఆగితే దానికి అటెండ్ అవచ్చు. 7 to 8. కాల్ కింద పడి ఒక్కటి వచ్చింది. చలికి క్లాసెస్ ఇంకెవరు లేరా? కింద ఎవరు లేరా? Okay, we'll wait for 5 minutes and start.
హర్ష, నాదొక డౌట్. Hello.
Yeah, I am not talking anything. Just we'll start in next 5 minutes. Let everyone join.
యాక్చువల్గా నాకు డౌట్ ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు మాకు పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ వైజ్ చూసుకుంటే నాకు క్లిప్ బోర్డ్ పేజ్ నుంచి డేటా రిట్రీవ్ చేసుకోవడం అది బెటరా, లేకుంటే డేటా పేజెస్తో బెటరా, లేకుంటే రిపోర్ట్ డెఫినేషన్ బెటరా?
Report definition.
అంటే పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ వైజ్ గా చూసుకున్నట్టయితే మనకు దీంతో మనకు పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ అనేది ఇష్యూస్ రాకుండా ఉంటాయి. క్లిప్ బోర్డ్ పేజా లేకపోతే రిపోర్ట్ డెఫినేషనా లేకపోతే డేటా
బెస్ట్ పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఉంటుంది.
రిపోర్ట్ డెఫినేషన్.
రిపోర్ట్ డెఫినేషన్ డేటా పేజ్ పర్పస్ వేరు.
ఎక్స్టర్నల్ డేటాబేస్ మనం ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం అట్లా?
ఎక్స్టర్నల్ డేటాబేస్ టైం పడుతుంది, ఇప్పుడే కాదు.
హర్ష ఇప్పుడు చెప్పారు కదా మీరు స్కిప్ వెన్స్, స్కిప్ స్టెప్, వెన్ రూల్లో, వాటి గురించి ఐడియా లేదండి.
అది యూజ్ చేస్తా వెళ్తాం, మీకే అర్థమవుతాయి. మొత్తం యూజ్ చేస్తా వెళ్తుంటా కోట.
ఓకే,
మీరు అలా
కొద్దిగా
ఒకసారి చూడండి.
ఓకే ఓకే.
మీకు పంపించాను కదా నాకు. ఓకే, సో ఎవరీవన్ రైట్. Kanchan, can you please mute from your end? And okay, everyone join. Everyone write down declarative rules. Declarative rules are used to perform automatic computations on properties. Declarative rules are used to perform automatic computations on properties. So write down what you see on the screen. Okay, done. So write down declare expressions. One more point you add. These are created under decision category. Declare expression is used to automatically compute the target property whenever there is a change in the source property values. Every time we change source property values, target declare expression gets automatically called and computed. Computes target property. వాళ్ళిద్దరు రాలేదండి. అదే అమ్మాయి ఫోన్ చేసిన మళ్ళీ నేను ఫోన్ చేస్తే లేదు. Declare expression is used to automatically compute the target property whenever there is a change in the source property values, that is changes every time. Okay. Change in the source property values, declare expression gets automatically called. Okay, done. Right up. See declarative rules. See whenever you have a when rule, say suppose you have a when rule. If you want when rule to be executed, what you are doing, you are going to call the when rule wherever you want. Okay. So similarly, if you want a section to be executed, you will call it flow action. You will call from somewhere. Okay. So unlike these all other rules, declarative rules are automatic rules. That is, you will create the rule and you will leave it simply. Okay, these will get automatically called wherever you use the property. So you create the declarative rules, and in the declarative rules you will use properties, some properties. If you use these properties anywhere in your application, anywhere from your application, automatically it will call the declarative rules. Okay, and it will automatically performs the action which you are going to choose. We will go ahead and look at a scenario to see this. Let me go ahead and say suppose here if you go ahead, you have the product. Okay, a product you will select and unit price will be displayed from the table. Okay, and you will enter the quantity. So total price. See, once you enter the, once you select the product like prod 1. Okay, if you select a product prod 1, it will get the unit price from the database, and you will choose the quantity, say suppose 2. So immediately once you choose the quantity value, the total price will be updated. Say suppose you change the quantity from 2 to 3, then the total price will be updated to 50. So like this, every time you change the source property, if you suppose if you change a product, unit price will be changed. So either of these, unit price or quantity changes, the total price gets updated. Okay, value. This kind of functionalities can be done by using declarative rules, and this can be done by using declare expression. Declare expression is used to compute the target property value every time the source properties are changing, either of the. So here the target property is total price. Okay, like this you can go ahead and use a declare expression. Okay, so write down the scenario. Write down the scenario. Create a new screen. Create a new screen. Transaction information. Create a new screen, transaction information with the properties insurance type, transaction, insurance type, transaction code, branch code, agency code, agency name, insurance type. Create a new screen, transaction information screen with the properties insurance type, agency code, agency name, transaction effective date, transaction expiry date. Right down. Next point. Transaction expiry date should be 1 year from effective date. Transaction expiry date should be 1 year from effective date. Okay. Effective date. This should be automatically calculated every time we change and transaction effective date. It should be calculated every time we change transaction effective date. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So we will go ahead and work on it now. Declare expression. Okay, so first we will create required properties. What are the properties we need? So exactly use the properties which I am creating. We are going to use all these properties. Insurance type, insurance type. So insurance type is, let me select it to be drop down.
This is Monday, we have to change the rule set version.
Thank you. We'll change it now. We'll change the rule set version now. This is October 2nd week, right? 4 is not there. వేరే రూల్స్ తీసుకుంటారు అంటే ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి తీసుకుంటారు లేకపోతే తీసుకోవాలి అట్లా ఏం లేదు. 4-5 ఉన్నాయి మా దగ్గర 4 ఉన్నాయి. సో తీసుకుంటాం. సో ఇన్సూరెన్స్ type. So it is going to be a new version. Okay, PX drop down. So here you select prompt list. We have already seen local list, right? Local list we have seen. We'll go and see prompt list. Standard value, nothing I am going to give. Prompt value is select. Standard value PL, PV, personal vehicle, CV, commercial vehicle. Okay, and then save it. So this is the value that will be displayed to user, and this is the value that will be going back to the clipboard. We have already seen this state code, state name. So similar to that, it is a prompt list. Okay, insurance type, and what is the other property? Agency code first of all. Agency code is text input only. Save this, and then agency name. ఇంకా transaction effective date, transaction expiry date. This is also date property. Transaction effective date, date property. Transaction expiry date, date property. Okay, fine. Close this. So all the properties are ready. First we will create a section. Transaction info SCC. Transaction information screen, which we are going to create now. So here if you go ahead, what properties? First one is property insurance type. That is a drop down, right? Insurance type. Then agency code, agency name, ఇంకా transaction effective date, expiry date. Okay, so first one to be insurance type. We have done this, right? Getting the properties and mapping it back. And then next is the code. And then agency, transaction effective date, transaction expiry date. Okay, and transaction expiry date, make it read only. You know how to make it read only, right? It is always read only. And one more thing what we need to do is, see, when you select read only here in the presentation tab, you can choose the type format. So I do not want it to be date time. I want it to be date, displayed as date, and you can choose the date format, which format you want to display. It is like 1101, 112001, something like this. If you see here, you should be able to get it. So which format of the date we are going to display? This format I am going to choose. 11-2001. Select this one also. Clear? Otherwise it will display date time. And repeat the same. The first one is not required to be read only, effective date, but how you want to display is important. So I want to display it is like a, where is it? This one, date format. Again choose the same format, this one. Okay, this is where you will choose the format of the dates. We can make it to be
design use the same additional columns or they will use
the existing are enough. Existing enough. Okay, so this is the screen which I want. I am going to check in this. It's up to you how you are going to design. Okay, you can sit down and play around. Insurance type, agency code, agency name, transaction effective date, transaction expiry date should be automatically coming. Okay, we will go ahead with the flow action. Transaction information, flow action, transaction info FA, and the section is okay, fine, done. So these two are done, creating section and flow action. So let me add it into the existing flow first of all. Where we can add, what is our flow? We don't have a common flow so far. We have it, right? Double F for insurance flow. So save as to the new version. So this flow has to be saved as to the new version, because it is there in 3 is locked. So add it into the existing flow. See where we need to include transaction information screen. We need to include here. So I have included transaction information screen between customer and personal vehicle information screen. Okay, done? You mean? Okay, so this is my flow. Previously we have these three shapes. You need to write down in a way like add an assignment for transaction information flow action in between customer information and personal vehicle information. That is enough because you already have the existing flow with you. Okay, and I am going to run this now. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this now. Let's see how it works and how we have to do. See here, I will select some transaction effective date. So when I select like this, it should automatically get expiry date here. Okay, that is the idea. Okay, once you select, say suppose I am going to change it back again. Every time I change it, it should automatically add transaction expiry date. Okay, clear? That is what my requirement is. We will go ahead and do it now. Fine. So for that we will go ahead and create a declare expression rule. Write down create a declare expression rule. Create a declare expression rule. So under which category we will create declare expression? We will create under decision category, right? Create declare expression. Okay, name of this one is calculate expiry date. Target property. What is the target property? We need to choose here. Target property is transaction expiry date. So that is the target property that needs to be computed based on the source property effective date. Okay, create and open. Okay, so now see here, whenever inputs change, any of the input properties which you are going to use, when these inputs changes, set expiry date is equal to transaction expiry date equal to value of something. Okay, you are saying value of. So here you can choose some property. Say suppose property equal to something like this. If you choose, it will take the property value. It can be a property, or it can be a direct value, or it can be an expression built value. Okay, we are going to build an expression now for this. Okay, it's up to you how you want to proceed. You can also choose something like property 1 age plus something, some other property like this. If you have other properties, you can go ahead and choose. something like this also. Say suppose you have A equal to B plus C, something like that. So in this scenario we are going to use expression builder. Write down this: whenever inputs change, set transaction expiry date is equal to value of. We will go ahead and build an expression now. So tomorrow we don't have class, right? Value of. So I am going to create the expression now. See, now we are going to operate an expression. We are going to perform an expression on a property called effective date. So it is of which type of property? Effective date is date type. So within the functions you have to find out the required date time library. Within this library you have different functions available. Okay, see here, add to date is one of the function. Okay, let me get it here. See, it will go ahead and add the days, hours, the date, the days, hours, minutes and seconds to this one. If you choose add to calendar, it will add what is the date and what is the number of years you want to add, and what is the months, what is the weeks, days, hours. It's more than this function. This function will add from days, this will add years also. Okay, so out of these two we can use whatever that we want. Okay, so we will go ahead and use this one, add calendar. Okay, so this takes all these parameters. The date, what is the date property here? What is the date property? Transaction effective date. So for effective date I need to add how many years? 1 year. How many months? 0 months, 0 weeks, 0 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes. Exactly 1 year I have added. Okay, your expiry date now will be the value of this effective date greater than 1 year plus 1 year. Okay, in this scenario again you can use declare expression. We have already used it. Declare expression, sorry, expression builder we have used it one place where customer ID gap, PYID. Okay, so this is another way we can go ahead and use on date time utilities. Okay, write on this. See, if you want to find out here also you can search add calendar, something like this. If you go ahead and search it, it will show you these functions in the results. Add calendar. If you write something and search, it will display. So this is the function which you need to find out. Add calendar to the property transaction effective date 100000 I have given. So 1 year will be incremented. And the effective date also should be future date. That we need to handle. We'll see that later. Okay, this is done. You can submit this one. So this is your expression, and then save this one. See, now I have created a declare expression. I am not to call the expression anywhere. This one I will leave it simply. Every time I change the effective date, automatically expiry date will be calculated. Okay, so hey, you add one more point here in the section. What is the section name? On click you need to refresh the section. This one, actions, on click, sorry, on change, effective date. Every time effective date changes, you need to refresh the section. You need to write down in this way. After you are created with this section and everything is done, add one more point, refresh on change of transaction effective date. Refresh the section on change of transaction effective date. That's it. You know how to do all these steps, refreshing and all. Refresh on change of transaction effective date. We have already done this refreshing part many times. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a case now. Okay, so see, this one we need to handle immediately when you log in. This can be handled later with the harness, not now. Okay, agency code something, effective date I'm going to choose 12/2017. The format is changing, right? We need to change the format again. After you build an expression, that different format it is taking. I want it to be displayed in this format. Expiry date 2017 10/12. This is wrong. Expiry date should be 2017 10/11. 1 year means, right? So what we need to make changes now? This is also wrong. Calculation is 1 year, adding is okay, but I don't know. So which one needs to be taken? Days, hours, last inch, fourth one. This one, right? 1, 2, 3. This is the days. It should be -1. Correct? 1 day less than. Okay, this should be -1. The value of days parameter should be -1. Here if you go ahead, this is the function. It should be 1 day less than the added calendar value. Okay, 12 means it should be expiring on 11th itself. Okay, and make change there. Fourth one, from left to fourth one. We will change it. This is clear. This one is clear, right? So let's go and see what are the other functions available for date time to make the changes to the format. These are the date time functions. ఎక్కడుందండి? ఫార్మాట్ డేట్ టైం అంతే. ఫార్మాట్ డేట్ అని ఉందా? ఓకే, ఏంటి ఫార్మాట్? ఫార్మాట్ డేట్ టైం, స్ట్రింగ్ డేట్ టైం, సెట్ ప్యాటర్న్, స్ట్రింగ్ డేట్ టైం. ఇది జోన్ లో మార్చి ప్యాటర్న్ వాల్యూ ఉంది మనం ఇవ్వాలనుకుంటా. 2012 ఫార్మాట్ ఉంది కదా. ఏముంది ఇంతకుముందు ఫార్మాట్? DDMMYY, DDMMYY, that's it, right? YYY, 4 Ys, and this one I am going to follow null. Let me see this. చూద్దాం. This is invalid, right? This is not acceptable. Okay, I'll check it. Let me see first of all this one. I will check that to format. Actually, it should be somewhat. This is okay now. This is okay, but the format which I have given in the UI is not taking, right? 2017 10/12 would be fine. Format date time is the date times. Formatted and this one MM 4M section.
Once he's calculating gaps based on years.
This is the string and the second one is 4MDDYY. This wrong ఇచ్చినట్టున్నాడు 2M అయి ఉంటుంది. MMDDYY America/New York ENUS ఇదే యూజ్ చేద్దామా ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా? Who is this? Property level we cannot do it. A section we have already changed it. So after you use the expression, it is going back to the old format. That is what. This is the string, and string pattern equal to MMDDYY. Okay. String time zone equal to America New York. ఆ తర్వాత /New York. New underscore York. New York. EN underscore US. మనం నల్లైనా పాస్ చేయొచ్చు, అది పెద్ద మ్యాటర్ ఏం కాదు యాక్చువల్లీ. దిస్ వన్ లెట్స్ సీ ద అవుట్పుట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్. This is a valid expression. What is that? That other problem. Same number. ఎక్కడో ఇది ఓవర్ రైడ్ అవుతుంది, కరెక్టే వస్తుంది కానీ దిస్ ఇస్ ఓవర్ రైడింగ్ సమ్వేర్. సెక్షన్ లో ఓవర్ రైడ్ అవుతుందా? ఓకే. ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఎక్స్పైరీ డేట్, రైట్? We'll go to sections. వేరే దాంట్లో పెట్టాలి, చేయొచ్చు, వేరే సెక్షన్ లో పెట్టాలి. కరెక్ట్గా ఉంది. కూడా చేశాను, ఎందుకంటే వర్కౌట్ లేదు. మళ్ళీ ఎక్స్పైరీ డేట్ ఏమైనా చేయాలంటే ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది. మళ్ళీ ఇది ఫర్దర్గా యూజ్ చేస్తే ప్రాబ్లం అవుతుంది. టెక్స్ట్ అన్నీ కరెక్ట్గా ఉంది, ఫార్మాటింగ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈస్ కరెక్ట్. ఓకే, యూ డూ దిస్, విల్ సీ. చేయండి, ఎంతవరకు చేయండి. సో యూ ఆర్ నాట్ రిక్వైర్డ్ టు డూ ద అడిషనల్ ఫంక్షన్ because it is working the same way. You are not required to do that additional. Normal first whatever you have done, that is enough. We will see that additional function later. So if you go ahead and run it, submit this one, and effective date if I choose. It's changing back or it is not changing? I got it. Let me submit and see on the clipboard how it appears. Your right. Both are going transaction effective date, transaction expiry date. No, nothing to check on click event. Okay, it is the fault of this is read-only format, right? Where is the edit format? Date, right? Date. Okay. We can also do one more thing. Let me see, this is the last time. ఇది వర్క్ అవ్వాలి యాక్చువల్గా, ఎందుకు వర్క్ అవ్వట్లేదు సో చూద్దాం, నేను చూసి చెప్తాను. ఓకే, యూ డూ కంప్లీట్ దిస్ పార్ట్, దట్ ఈస్ ఇనఫ్. ఓకే, సో లైక్ దిస్, సి ఎవ్రీ టైమ్. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్ ఈస్, యువర్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ డేట్ షుడ్ బి future date. Write down that point. Make transaction effective date future date. Make transaction effective date to be future date. So how do you make it? This is the transaction effective date, right? So if you go to advanced tab here you have validation part, use validate. For now you use it, we will create our own validations later. Okay, సో ఇక్కడ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయో చూడండి. Use validate drop down. You can choose is, see here. This is one of the rule, is feature date. Just look at here. So I'm going to open this rule. This rule is called edit validate. Okay, there will be some Java code written internally. Okay, this will validate whether the date value which you have entered is future date or not and display an error message. Okay, we will go ahead and work on this one practically later. We will create our own rules and we'll see. So this is what you can use for now. So like this, you need to think about additional functionality and you need to perform. When you are practicing, you make sure this is the future date and this future date should be greater than 6 days from the current day. Try to do that. We can edit the Java code what we have seen there. We will edit it later. Okay, so this one also first time this can be done later, not. See, if I'm going to select this one to be wrong date, past date, so invalid value specified for transaction effective date, you can customize this message as you want. Okay, so it should be a future date actually. So this message you can go and customize later. We'll see how to customize it. This is okay, 5 if I give, then it is again. Okay, so we will customize it later, the message part when we are working with the validation rule, then that time we will customize. For now you can use this is future date and then you can work on it to make it a future date. Okay, and any other things that we need to apply on this? Effective date, expiry date, it should be future date. It should be calculated 1 year from the effective date. What you can do is you do this way. Okay, transaction information section, right? You add another property here, you go ahead and add agency code, this one, right? Before transaction effective date, you add another property called policy term in years. Policy term in years. Put a drop down 1, 2, 3. That's it, enough. Okay, if user selects 1, the expiry date should be 1 year greater than the effective date. User select 2 year term, make it 1, 3, 5. Okay, not 1, 2, 2 will not be there anywhere. 1, 3, 5. Okay, so effective date, if user selects 1 year term, means effective date should be 1 year greater than the, expiry date should be 1 year from expected date. If you select 3, it should be 3 years. If you select 5, it should be 5 years. Okay, you can note down. So extend this functionality, right now. This is your homework. Extend the above functionality. Extend the above functionality to add one more property, policy term. Policy term with a drop down values 1, 3 and 5. The drop down values 1, 3 and 5. Write down. When user selects policy term 3 years, when user selects policy term 3 years, expiry date should be 3 years from effective date. Expiry date should be 3 years from effective date. Similarly for 1 year and 5 years. Similarly for 1 year and 5 years. Okay, you can do it, right? What is the change you need to do in the expression which you are building? Okay. In place of year, you need to pass a property value. Add years. We are adding one direct number, right? There you need to pass this property value. Make sure you always do -1, something like that. ఏంటండి 3 years అయితే expiry date should be 3 years from effective date. If user selects policy term 3 years, expiry date should be 3 years from effective date. And also try this. Always your effective date should be 6 days greater than today. Okay, today you should not select your policy effective date. We need some time to process your policy and make it effective. Okay, make it like 6 days from today. Yes, who is this? Smile.
కొంచెం ప్రాపర్టీస్ చెప్పరా, దీనికి ఏమేమి యూజ్ చేయాలి?
ఏమేమి ఒకటే ప్రాపర్టీ, పాలసీ టర్మ్ అంతే.
ఒకటేనా? ఓకే.
పాలసీ టర్మ్ ఒకటే, అడిషనల్ ప్రాపర్టీ నేను ఇచ్చిన దానికి. ఇంకోటి ఏమడుగుతున్నా, వాట్ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ద అదర్ వన్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ డేట్ షుడ్ బి 6 days greater than today always. That means your policy expiry date should be from that 6 days. Whatever that you are going to select, one ఎలా అది హ్యాండిల్ చేయాల్సిన పని లేదు. That will be automatically done. Yeah, because 1 year from anyway effective date. If you select, say suppose today is 10th, right? Today is 10th. If you are going to select do not bother about non-business days, leave about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you are going to select 16th and greater date, it should be fine. If you are going to select anything before 16, should give you a message, policy effective date should be 6 days from today. Okay, atla you try it, message part you leave it, but validation part you try it and go through these validations. There you have future code and all. Try to look into that and then try it. You should be able to do it maybe after we complete other validations also. Okay, validation rules once we work, you should be able to complete. So we will work on declare constraint and declare on change tomorrow. This one you need to understand. So add one more point, put a star mark and write down calculating target property value every time the source properties are changing using declare expression is called forward chaining. Is called forward chaining. What is backward chaining we'll see later, but this is what forward chaining. Every time your source property values are changing, you are going to calculate the target property value. This is called forward chaining. Okay, fine. You can go ahead and wind up for today. We will meet tomorrow to continue to work on it. Tomorrow when I say, it's on Wednesday, everyone. Wednesday we will meet. Yeah.
హర్ష, డిక్లరేటివ్ రూల్స్ అంటే ఒకటి డిక్లరేటివ్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ కన్స్టెంట్ ఆన్ చేసి తర్వాత కూడా మీకు ఇస్తారు కదా,
అవి తర్వాత చూస్తాం, ఇంకా టైం పడుతుంది అట్లా.
జస్ట్ నేమ్స్
నేమ్స్ రాసుకోలేదు నువ్వు?
జస్ట్ 3 రాసాను అప్పుడే.
డిక్లేర్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్, డిక్లేర్ కన్స్ట్రైంట్, డిక్లేర్ ఆన్ చేంజ్, డిక్లేర్ ట్రిగ్గర్, డిక్లేర్ ఇండెక్స్.
అంతేనా?
అంతే.
ఓకే
ఓకే, ఫైన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ everyone.